Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nixter here today. Welcome back to the second episode of the Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector demo. I'm just going to get back into it and let's go from there. Okay, what do I gotta do? Let's check. Escape Hexport. Find a ship fitter, get the feed lines. I think, yeah, we got that contract that we have to do. Okay. Nothing there. 172. So I'm going to go here. We're going to apply to that. Apply to that. What do you said to get supplies? Yeah, I'll let him do that. Then I'm just gonna places we can make money. Yeah, okay. Let's just go here. I'm going to go through a couple cycles of this. I just wanted to get stuff up. Okay, I think that's about all I want to do right now. So let's go here. We will, because I can't do anything else. We can upgrade these. Don't really feel like it. We're just gonna end the cycle. Cycle has been ended. Board 4. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go to this contract now. Confirm. We have to take her with us. I think she'll be good, so let's go. Yes, confirm crew. And we're off. The rig. The Solheim derelict fills the cockpit windows, all twisted plates and skeletal strutwork. You watched it in horror and fascination as Seraphin completed the approach, both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now, as you settle beside it, Seraphin is the first to break the silence. This thing is already dead. He shakes his head. It's a corpse, Sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touch this thing too hard, it'll crumble into dust. Let's not do that. Seraphin does a little mock salute. Aye, aye. He rolls his eyes. Any other tips? Take us up there. That's the bridge. Junie points towards one end of the ship. And both you and Seraphin turn around, having forgotten she was even in the cockpit. She hasn't said a word since you departed. She glances at both of your bemused faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, That's where we need to go. She stops pointing. Seraphin nods towards Junie. She's not wrong, Sleeper. The bridge would be a good start. I think we should assess it first, just before we go straight there. Assess the wreck first. Junie settles silently back into her seat. She looks away, now the cockpit. And you're unsure if she is upset or just embarrassed. Carefully, Seraphin brings the ship close to the derelict and guides it along the hull. The rig's lights ripple over the broken surface, finding gaps and cracks everywhere. It seems remarkable that the derelict is still held together. Shit, Seraphin hisses as a huge spinning piece of debris drifts in front of the cockpit. He pushes the rig down beneath it, squeezing between the debris in the hull, and as he does so, an ear-splitting screech signals the rig scraping across the derelict's skin. You freeze for a moment, waiting for the breach siren to sound. But the moment passes, and you relax. You glance at Seraphin. His face betrays no emotion. This isn't safe. Seraphin shakes his head. I'm going to find somewhere better to settle the ship. We need to suit up and work our way along the hull on foot. You look back at Junie and see her still in her seat, eyes wide. You okay? Junie looks at you, and there is a sudden unfamiliar hardness in her eyes that surprises you. Then a moment later, it is gone, and her gaze softens. I'm okay. She smiles, a flat smile. Don't worry. Seraphin brings the ship away from the derelict's hull, an inch at a time, then slowly brings it round to settle close to a mostly intact hull plate. This section is fairly free of debris. He nudges the ship a little closer. We should be good to hold here. Seraphin unclips from his seat, and you and Junie follow suit. As you all glide down towards the airlock, Junie silently follows, though you can't help but feel judged. As you reach the airlock, Seraphin begins suiting up. If we are lucky, that little collision hasn't started a cascade that will end with this place coming apart under our feet. Seraphin violently kicks his legs into a set of EVA trousers, clearly irritated by his own carelessness. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't your fault. Seraphin shoots you a look. Fault isn't going to matter when we're flown off into the black. This is a delicate job, Junie says quietly, almost to herself. The data core will be fragile. She casts a furtive glance in the direction of you and Seraphin. Very fragile. Understood. Junie nods appreciatively. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence, each of you considering the delicate job ahead. You suit up too, that you don't need a helmet to breathe. You slide one on and lock the seals for protection. This wreck isn't going to give up its salvage easily. The core should be near the bridge, maybe even inside it, but there's a lot of wreck here, and there might be a good salvage tucked away in the cargo hold. Once the suits are on and the seals are checked, you cycle the lock and stare out at the vast expanse of the twisted hulk before you. Time to go to work. Okay, what can we do? Oh, cool, we're at 2 stress. Should've got straight for the bridge, oh well. Let's see. Lock dissection. If we take longer, it will take longer, but cutting away the lock layer by layer is the safest way to make it through. Force the lock. Forget being delicate. The clock is running on the contract, and forcing the lock is the fastest way to get entry. And clear cargo docks. There are layers and layers of broken hull plates blocking the cargo doors. This will require some heavy work. Find access point. There has to be a way in amongst the shattered hull. Searching will be slow, but at least the derelict will remain stable. I'm not making anybody do that one, holy cow. Okay, let's see. So this is the bridge, I'm assuming. Yeah, bridge entry, cargo. Let's go, we're gonna go with cargo first. I am going to go try with this first. Whole baller. And I'll throw this one on there. Okay, stress to me, that's cool. Okay, we did a cargo entry. Getting to the cargo entry means breaking through the shattered remains of the aft hull. Cargo storage, crush cargo bays. Let's go. Throw Junie on there. Map the bays. Countless vast bays extend from here deep into the derelicts. Scanning and mapping each one will allow you to navigate them safely. Please be positive. Please be positive. Please be positive. Good enough. Because this should give us probably 3. Give us 2. Okay, okay. Well, that's all that for today. We'll come over here. What is that? Yeah, no. I got 3 6s, so they're all going right here for that 100% positive. And that is all we're doing for today, so we will now wait a cycle. Oh, these are some crappy dice, man. I might do push. Oh, I can't. Forgot about that. Oops. Oh well. Well, we made it into the bridge. Derelict. The bridge of the derelict lies silent. Pale beams of pursuit lamps catch rows of terminals and clouds of glittering dust. Wires wave like seaweed, and the whole scene appears as if underwater. Chaotic, but still. Junie glides past you, disturbing the dust and taking you by surprise as she does. She has been a stoic presence so far, but in this moment she seems drawn forward by some force of curiosity. You watch as she bats away debris amidst checking terminals. Yeah, we're gonna ask her. What are you doing? Junie doesn't seem to hear you, or at least is ignoring you. She is already prying an access panel off one of the most intact-looking terminals. As she does, puffs of rust color the vacuum around her red. Approach her. She turns back to the terminal and finishes prying off the plate. Then, quickly, she reaches inside, fishing around for something. Her hand comes back out with a waving cable topped with a thick connector, and as soon as she sees it, she slips a keyboard-sized deck out from somewhere on her person. She runs her hand across the back until she finds the right port and slots in the connector. All of this happens in a few seconds. The routine practice of Bryce is hard not to be impressed. Not your first Solheim ship. She glances at you, a nervous look on her face. Does she think you are accusing her of something? She shakes her head and goes back to her work. Junie's fingers dance across the deck's keyboard, and a burst of static lights up the Solheim terminal screen. The sudden burst of light and color takes you by surprise. Junie's fingers tap away, the terminal screen flashing with blocks of color and lines of code. It buzzes and vibrates, its long-dead system forced back into a chaotic life. Then all at once it goes dark. The terminal is dead. Shit. Junie hisses beneath her breath. Useless. You cannot tell if the insult is directed at the terminal or herself. Find anything? She looks up at you as if she was just waking from a dream. No. She looks up at you as if she was just waking from a dream. No. She pauses. Nothing useful. She protectively slides her deck away. The cradle with the data core can't be far. She pushes off from the terminal, gliding away from you. I'll start looking. She calls back and heads to the other side of the bridge. Seraphine glides up beside you. Everything alright? What do you think of Junie? The kid? Seraphine shrugs. You know better than me. Keeps to herself. He squints at her retreating form. Seraphine stretches in his suit. I have to admit, it's nice to be back working, especially now that we are the ones who will reap the benefits. He claps you on the shoulder. Feels good to be taking our fate into our own hands. I know it's pretty rough there back on Hexport, and out here we're just as likely to get shredded by debris as find the damn data core, but aren't you glad we made a break for it? He pauses, then looks down, having asked the question almost by accident. I mean, I am. I just don't want to speak for you. I'm glad to. Seraphim smiles. You better be. I didn't give up that little dark side cupboard I was living in for nothing. He laughs at his own joke. Look, Seraphim checks his suit's wrist seals. Once we've got a bit of space behind us, once we've gone the distance, and we even managed to get that far, he furrows his brows. Don't feel you owe me. I'm no charity case. You want us to go our separate ways? Fine by me. He meets your eyes. Just do me the favor of telling me to my face. I'm gonna stick with you, Seraphim. Seraphim nods, but doesn't respond. After a moment, he shines his torch out into the dark, checking the rows of terminals all across the bridge. You watch the glaring dust as it eddies in the beam. Seraphim sighs. Let's get to it. You watch as he crosses the bridge, his torch probing the dark corners. You feel a chill run through your body as you manage. Imagine the people that once ran the ship, the Solheim crew, truly long dead. What was it like here before the collapse, when the system was the jewel in Solheim's crown? It's impossible to know. The history is lost to you now. All you can do is pick what you can from the ruins. Okay, what do we gotta do here? Reboot the systems, rebooting the... Rebooting the system. Rather than hunting old pathways, rebooting selected sections of the ship's system might reveal the data core's location as it responds. Track the pathways. One way to find the ship's data core is to systematically track the old pathways through the derelict in hope of finding the one that it connects to. Data core location. The bridge and data core must be connected, but a wreck as big as this, tracing the connection is a challenge. Yeah. We'll do a push. Yeah, no, that didn't really help. I should have done that. Oh well. You know what? I really don't like these dice rolls. We're gonna go through this cycle. And hope I get better dice rolls this time around. Ooh. You have taken damage to a dice because of stress. When your dice are rolled at the start of the cycle, your stress dictates if you take damage or not. Higher stress means a higher chance of damage. The white markers above the stress bar tell which numbers will damage your dice when rolled. Each dice has 3 dice health. When this is depleted, the dice will break and you must prepare to use normally. The markers above the stress bar show which dice rolls will damage the dice's health. The layout of these markers depends on your difficulty. When at the hub, you can reduce stress at the breaks box location. Cool. Not really. Balls. Well. The country says during crisis, a crisis will add 1 country test per cycle unless resolved at the crisis location. Coolio. Coleridge. Fine, take my dice. Positive, 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 positive. Damn. That's all I can say in the cycle. Eee. Oh, we rolling good today. And okay. Now this is the last time. We have to go back over this one because I'm out of supplies. Oh, there's some really crappy dice. And we did it. Yippee. Data core cradle. Data core extraction. Data core damage. Isolate the core. The core is fragile, but by rerouting the data connected to it from its cradle, it could be lifted free without damage, at least in theory. Slice the core. One way of getting the fragile core out is to physically cut it free, slicing each connection individually, though the potential for damage is high. Well, at least we get 4 from this one. We throw this one to make sure we definitely get positive. And then we hope to God that these roll good. Why would you do that? Oh, now everybody's gonna take stress. Oh, man. Yeah. Now 2s damage my dice. Probably gonna lose one of my dice. Nope. We're actually fine on the dice. Okay, just do that. We're 100% positive. Yippee. We did it. Junie. You watch nervously as Junie guides the core out of the cradle, a large ball almost half your height in diameter. It glides up out of the framework that held it, connections waving loose and cut. Her breathing comes through the suit's comms, loud enough to be picked up, and it fills you with tense energy as you watch. Over the course of this job, you have seen Junie both focused and distracted, nervous and precise, but you have not seen her any more confident than in this moment now. She floats beside the data core, handling it with care and skill, as if it was the vast egg of some endangered bird. She glances up and sees you watching her, and you notice something unfamiliar in her eyes, something that you have perhaps seen in a passing moment before. Only now it is no momentary lapse or change. It is set in place. You see determination. She guides the core a little away from you with one hand, at the same time comes forward and was placing herself between you and her prize. And it does seem to be hers, in the way she handles it, the possessive way she screens it with her body. We need to talk. The statement comes flat and deadpan, and nervous tremble gone, right now. I'm gonna not try to escalate it, so we're just gonna go, okay. Sleeper, she takes up a deep breath. I want to be honest with you, but I need to know you won't take this from me. Junie glances around the cradle defensively, but Seraphim is already heading back to the ship to prepare the cargo bay for the core storage. You two are alone. Tell me and we'll see. Fine, she folds her arms, but it's staying with me. Karsten doesn't deserve this treasure, Sleeper. Junie glances over her shoulder at the core. Do you know how many of these are left intact? She shakes her head, and all he wants to do is wipe it clean so he can use it to interface with Hexport. All that data, gone. So what do you want? I want to extract the data to make use of it. You see some genuine emotion flicker in her eyes. She sighs. After extracting the data, the core will be unusable. There's a security system that will fry it. If data duplication is attempted, I can delay the security response long enough to copy the data, but after that, she trails off. You've done this before? She looks down. Yes. She meets your eyes. This is why I came. Look at this place, Sleeper. She gestures to the cradle room. A dark and twisted cavern of long dead tech. How many of these places are left? How many chances do we have to recover anything this old, this fragile? Like it or not, we live in Solheim's shadow, in the ruins, and yet we know almost nothing. What chance do we have of understanding how we got here when others like them, like Sinetstat and Conway, are descending on the system? Oh. Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Because we do need the core if we want to get the filters, or else I'm going to have to come up with 400 chits. I could probably do that though. But I don't think I have enough time. I need this core. But at what cost, Sleeper? She gestures around herself. With this core, we could learn something about ourselves. We could learn our history and how the system was settled. We could better learn the technology we built our lives on. We could uncover Solheim's crimes and seek to make amends. She looks to you, pleading eyes. We could even see beyond survival, towards something else. You have never heard Junie speak like this, and you realize that you have taken, or nervousness was actually control. This is the person in front of you, defending a decaying data core with their life, is the real Junie. But then you think of Lane, of the price he likely put on your and Seraphim's head, and of the feed lines, without which leaving Hexport would be almost impossible. Is this even a choice? Oh, those are really bad odds, and I really don't want to do that, so I'm going to explain about the feed lines. Junie listens carefully as you tell her about the deal with Karsten, the feed lines he offered you, and that both you and Seraphim are on the run. Then, I help you. Junie doesn't flinch. We find another way to get those feed lines. Karsten is an idiot. I can hack his security and you can pull them out of there. Or, Seraphim looks tough. Maybe you can grab them. She looks desperate. We can do it. We can do something. Yeah, didn't you say you work for him? Junie glances away. Look, I knew you wouldn't take me if... She sighs. I might have misled you there. I knew he knew where the derelict was, and I heard your conversation. I've been keeping an eye on him. She pauses. I know I lied, but I can't help you. But I can help you. Let me strip the data from the core, and I promise to help you get the feed lines. She meets your eyes with intensity, but it's a lot of information taken at once. You need a second to think. Oh. Dude. Tough choice. Tough choice. Do I take the core and get the feed lines? Or do I let Junie take the data off the core and we steal the feed lines? Oh, tough choice, tough choice, tough choice. Let's do that. Let's do it. Thank you. Junie looks gently moved. This is a gift to all of us. Sleeper, I hope you will see it like that. Junie turns the data core, quickly gathering one of its loose connections. She takes out her deck and plugs it in, then crosses her legs and places it across them, floating tethered beside the core. Her fingers begin tapping at the keyboard, teasing out the data of the core and whatever Solheim secrets it might contain. As she does, Seraphim enters. He braces himself in the entry. What's she doing? Junie doesn't seem to notice. I don't want to say destroying the core. He'll probably get very angry from that. He might understand emptying the data. Explain later sounds like a really bad idea. So, emptying the data. She's doing what? Seraphim jumps to attention, but you put a hand on his shoulder. He eyes you suspiciously. I hope you know what you're doing, Sleeper. He nods to his core. That's our ticket out of this export. Junie will help us, if you say so. And you both turn to watch, Junie stripping the core of all its secrets. A little while later, once the core has been emptied out and its defense mechanism has scorched its seams black, you watch the metallic sphere spinning gently in the room. I wonder if you have just made a terrible mistake. Oopsie daisy. Oh, I guess we're leaving. Because, I mean, that's all we're gonna... Get some scrap. And now we leave while the thing explodes and implodes on itself. Okay, we leave now. Oh, wrong thing. We leave. Leave. And we're back. You are running out of time to escape Lane. In 5 cycles, he will arrive in Hexport. Yippee! As you arrive into Hexport, Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. We are going to have to hack fast if we want to take those feed lines. You and Seraphim exchange glances. You are both still getting used to this new Junie. We? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. Only one of us fried the core and stole all its data. He shoots you a look, and for some reason we let you. We can make this work. What I'm wondering, Sleeper, is why we have to. Seraphim looks infuriated. I don't think Karsten is going to take kindly to the idea that we brought someone pretending to work for him on the job and let her have his prize. He scoffs. He points at Junie like she is an object. Do you even know what she's up to? Junie looks between the two of you. Hexport hasn't exactly been kind to me. You two trusted me, even though I didn't deserve it. I'm not used to that. I want to repay it. Not to mention that Karsten is probably ripping you two off. Even if you get enough cry, what's to say he won't raise the price? Trust me, he's no good. I was trying to deal with Karsten to get those derelict corners from the moment I arrived here, and he ran me in circles. She shakes her head. Seraphim is watching her closely. Even if I do take you at your word, which, given everything, seems a little tough, how do we even do this? He raised an eyebrow. You were telling me we just walk in there and take the feed lines? Look, I get it. You don't trust me. She pauses. But what if I have a vested interest in this working out? There's nothing left for me here, and I don't much feel like hanging around waiting for Karsten to figure out my involvement in all this. I need safe passage. You need the feed lines to grant it. She allows herself a smile. See where I'm going with this? Seraphim sighs. I don't like it. He pauses, but it makes sense. What do you think, Sleeper? We all get something. Exactly. Junie smiles. Let me prepare. I'll head to Factory Row and scope the place out. Meet you there and we can work out a plan. She glances between the two of you. Trust me, we can find a way. We will keep it simple. Clean. Simple is good. Agreed. Seraphim cuts in. His dark look betrays his concern. I'll go scope out the bay we need in Factory Row. We should split up. Less likely for Karsten to suspect us. Meet me there in a few, and we can finish setting up. Junie clips from her seat, floating up. I want to show you I can be trusted. That we can do this. She looks between the two of you. Believe that, please. And with that, she slips away down the passage towards the airlock and export beyond. You look at Seraphin. I'm saying nothing. Sleeper. He clips from her seat too. Either this is the kind of mess you have to go through to get out the other side, or it's the kind that you never escape. Either way, we are in it now. He leaves the cockpit. We stare at the chaotic lights of Hexport and wonder if anything in the Starward belt ever runs smoothly. Fun times. Oh, oh, and that's it. We made it. Oh, man. 2025 cannot come soon enough because that was fun, and I cannot wait for when it comes out. That was really fun, and yeah. Well, that is it, and I guess that I will see you guys in whatever video I decide to come out with next. Who knows what it'll be. I've been playing Alan Wake 2 recently. That game is freaking fun. Well, that's it. I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.